Hey guys, this is Justin from the Survival Review, and sorry about the kind of bland background I have here. I didn't have any Schwarzenegger or Total Recall posters or anything, so I kind of just went with this for now. Sorry about that. But anyway, today we have a movie review. Since the new Total Recall remake is coming out, I decided it'd be good idea to do a review of the original classic, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and directed by Paul Verhoeven. Also, I plan to, in the future, do a review of the TV series, Total Recall 2070, which I started watching. It's pretty interesting, but we'll get to that later. On with the review of the movie. Okay, let's just start out with the plot a little. The movie starts out with Arnold Schwarzenegger as this construction worker who keeps having strange dreams of Mars, which has now been colonized and everything. But he's had strange dreams of it and everything, so he wants to go there, but he can't because his Wi-Fi line and stuff like that. So then he hears about this thing called Recall, which is this machine. Which is it's like a company. You go there and they have this machine which gives you memory implants to make it feel like you were just on a vacation and stuff like that. And so he plans to go to Mars. And and something goes wrong, during the whole recall thing starting. And this is where it's kinda hard to explain, but he starts to have kind of the memory of one of the options for recall is to have a facelift kind of. She can be a spy or something like that. So he chooses that. So now he kind of has spy stuff in him. And when he gets home and everything, he finds all these people are after him. It ends up his wife is not really his wife, and it's kind of confusing. See the movie, and what else happens after that? It's basic gist. So let's start out with the performances. Arnold Schwarzenegger he's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's the usual. He's a little bit better in this one than most movies. Besides that, he's more of the same. Just the way you can tell he really he's really trying and stuff like that, but he still can't deliver lines perfectly. The rest of the cast, I like how the main villain is Ronnie Cox, and he plays the kind of same character that he played in RoboCop, just the businessman who's just a scumbag and is trying to kind of screw the people over a little. And that makes sense. But yeah, and he works. Michael Ironside as the right hand man. He works. The whole cast pretty much do their job well. They're not bad acting, not terribly acting, but they're not great. Now, one of the things that I found surprising about the movie was the special effects. They actually really hold up. All the miniature stuff of that looks awesome. There are a few moments where it's obvious. At the end with the holograms. And when he's on that kind of conveyor belt going up after killing off, spoiler if you haven't seen the Michael Ironside character. But besides that, it's not really that obvious. And it's pretty well done. Especially for the time, especially how it holds up. There are a couple, also another little thing is when Schwarzenegger's hiding as the old lady, the big fat lady, and the head comes off and he picks it up. It's kind of obviously a puppet head of Schwarzenegger. And the best special effects is when Schwarzenegger, or it's when any of the characters when they're out on Mars and there's no air, so their faces are their eyes are bulging out, their tongues are sticking out, and their faces are getting bigger. That's awesome. And the animatronic, the head for Schwarzenegger when he's taking the bug out of him and he has to put the thing up his nose. That's awesome. Those are just so fun. I love the 80s special effects. They're so fun to watch. because you had to like think, how do they do that? They probably had to have an animatronic. Said today, where it's just like, oh, how'd they do that? CGI. What do you expect? One of the things also I like is that Paul Verhoeven, the director, he also did RoboCop and would go on to do Starship Troopers. He has a certain, like, his squibs are insane. His gunshots, like, they're always like these giant explosions. And whenever you watch them, you're just like, whoa. And there's this one scene where Schwarzenegger is being chased on this escalator and the bad guy starts shooting at him. And he takes just a person on a escalator, starts using him as a shield. And that guy gets so shot up. Like the scene in RoboCop where the exec at the Ed 219 demonstration gets shot up. Just like that. It's insane. The squibs are like so cool. There's another thing about this movie. It's really brutal. It's really violent, like and visceral. Right, because it's Paul Verhoeven. But like the scene where the bad guy, one of the bad guys where he shoots the rat and the blood splatters on the screen. And like a lot of innocent people die in this movie. No, it's like the scene at the end where they go to the like kind of bar area to find Schwarzenegger and they shoot up the place. That was insane. And the scene where they're trying to put him in recall at the end, and he breaks out. And Schwarzenegger and he beats up all these like doctors. He has like a metal bar and like whacks one in the face. Like the violence is pretty high in this movie. But I'm a sick person, so I like it. And Schwarzenegger's one-liners are great. You can tell that he was at the height of his popularity here in his career. So Paul Verhoeven took advantage of that and gave him like the best one-liners. Like with a movie like this, you'd think they would try to like keep it lower and like not as over the top, but he knew that that's what audiences wanted, so he gave him some of the best one-liners he has in the movies. Some of the greatest ones. Another thing that's great is Verhoeven's direction, which is really great, fast-paced stuff, which helps the movie move along really quickly. And that's one thing is like works with his direction. So with that aspect, that this is actually kind of a smart movie. Like the plot has some like really crazy twists and turns. So like you feel like you're in a rush of action and excitement, like cheesy one-liners, but you're still getting a pretty smart, like well-plotted movie. So it's a really great combination of those two. Where you're having a great time, but you're also like, hey, oh, like the one scene, like I really got into it. So the one scene where like that guy comes into Schwarzenegger's hotel room with his wife, saying they're like, oh, this is all a dream. You're in recall and everything. And like I was seriously like, could he? Like I was thinking like, is this what's going on? Is this the big twist? And like I was really enjoying the plot. It's really well interesting and pretty original for this type of movie. And yeah, it's an awesome, fun movie. Worth checking out if you like action, sci-fi, or just Schwarzenegger. Like, it's an interesting, smart movie. I have a feeling this movie I know this movie's gonna live on much longer than the remake will. And I really like it. And out of 10, even though the only thing I've been giving this movie is praise, I don't think it's like the best movie, so I'll definitely give it a 9 out of 10. Really enjoyable, fun movie, and yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.